Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Dental Up Podcast, brought to you by Keating Dental Arts, a full-service, award-winning dental laboratory. Each week, you'll learn tips and techniques from real-world dentists, bringing you in-depth interviews, motivating stories, current events, and sports. Here's your host, Sean Keating.
Hey everyone, Sean here. Welcome to another episode of the Dental Up Podcast. Our guest this week graduated from the USC School of Dentistry, and he worked as a student dentist for the USC Sports Dental Program. He's an expert in cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, and CAD/CAM for the CATS Dental Group in Los Angeles, California. He's also worked with many famous LA artists, musicians, and athletes, making him the go-to guy for any dental-related services. Currently practicing from Los Angeles, California, please welcome Dr. Gabe Rosenthal, DDS. How's it going, Dr. Rosenthal?
So far, so good. How's about you?
Oh, man, we're doing great here. I'm a little sickers, man, starting to come down with a little bug, but, everyone in the lab's sick, but, man, I'm glad to be alive, baby. It's a beautiful day here, and raining, man. We've been having a lot of rain here the last almost a week or so here in SoCal. We're not used to that,
yeah.
huh?
This is our annual 1 week of rain.
Except out where you're at, man. You got a little bit of that smog rolls in about 3 or 4 o'clock. No, it's not that bad as it used to be back. I'm kind of been here all my life, and
I'm used to the smog. It's just part of my life. It always has been.
Yeah, well, you're out there in the middle of LA, baby. That's so cool. Well, dude, I always like to start off a little bit about sports, man. What are you thinking about these Rams, man? They're right there in your backyard, and the Rams coming up, and the Chiefs, and we got the Saints and the Patriots. Anyone in particular like your teams out there?
I love the Rams. It's taken me a little bit to warm up to them. In 1993 or whenever they left, they ditched us.
Yes.
And then 2 years ago they come back, and it's a process, but I'm warming up to them, and they have a bunch of USC Trojans on their team, so I definitely gravitate towards them.
That's so awesome. And I was the same way. We grew up with them. Heck, we grew up with the Rams back I remember I was in junior All-American, Pee Wee football. And in 1972, I got to meet Roman Gabriel and Jack Snow, Youngblood, and all these guys as a little car dealership by our house and over there in Huntington Beach. It's called Sunset Ford. And all these Rams players came in and they signed our little picture cards or football cards, but Rams fan ever since that. And then they left us, and they just packed up one night, and George Rosenblum or whatever sold out and left town, and then he died.
I remember.
And then he died all of a sudden.
I think I was at that last game. I think they were playing in Anaheim before they left.
I think I was there too. Anaheim Stadium. Man.
Yeah, season ends and they're gone for 20 years.
Can you believe that?
Or whatever.
And I just know how LA fans are fickle. You got to earn, or because you guys are so spoiled, with all the Lakers and the Rams in the past, winners. And when they came back, man, they didn't look that good at all. And it's like, what the heck? And even with the Chargers now, Chargers were pretty damn good, but they got handled last week. With the Patriots just destroyed them. But
we gravitate to the winners, so they were winning, but the Rams are still winning right now. So that's the team we all jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, what a trip though. So and you're a Trojan too. My brother Kevin went to dental school at USC also, but probably a few years before you did. You're just a youngster, baby.
It's been great so far. I loved my time at USC. I got to work with student dentists for a lot of the players in the sports program: basketball, baseball, football, water polo. I think rowing. We had a few come in.
No kidding.
But, that was kind of my introduction. I got to work with some of those people. It was non-paid. It was just to do our hours to graduate. But
exactly.
I volunteered in that clinic and did my rotations there, and I loved it.
Oh, that's going to stick with you, and it has stuck with you since, you did it. And that's a neat thing. That's so cool. Well, let's go ahead and dental up now, doctor. So tell me, at what point did you know I want to be a dentist?
So I went to UC San Diego undergrad, and I actually was a history major, all set to graduate and go to law school, and my goal was to actually be a sports agent.
Oh, okay.
One of my neighbors growing up who's actually still a friend of mine, he's a big-time sports agent, and I've always looked up to him. And I love, with my sports my love of sports, it kind of seemed to make sense at the time. But then the more I shadowed and volunteered for different professions, I realized that wasn't for me. And I volunteered in a pre-dental program where you get to work as an assistant in these underserved areas.
Okay.
And I loved it. Right off the bat, I said, this is what I want to do. You know, you use your brain, you use your hands, you use the art side, you know, your creative side of your brain, and you put it all together. And I loved it. I ended up getting my X-ray license while volunteering, just so I could do a little bit more.
No
and we
kidding.
were kind of by the San Diego-Mexico border.
Oh, okay.
And so we had really a lot of people who needed dental help with dental work, and maybe they would otherwise be unable to afford it. So I'd go out there and volunteer, and I knew that it was for me.
Yeah.
You know, it actually took me a few more years to graduate, because as a history major, I had nothing towards the dental requirements to be pre-dental. So I had to stay for about another year and a half just to get all the sciences.
You have to be a smart cookie, man, to know all that stuff and to be able to switch over to that. I mean,
no, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, but you know, sometimes in the middle of that journey, you're thinking, what am I doing?
yeah, exactly.
But, you know, the end result is so sweet. It was all worth it. You know, when you're pre-law, you want to just get good grades so you get into the law school that you want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And the first few history classes I took in college, I did well. I think I got straight A's in them, but I think I did it because it was so interesting. Like, you just get so involved in the story.
Exactly.
And I said, you know what? I love this. I can get any degree to go into law school. Little did I know that I'd have to take all the sciences, you know, after trying to get around them once I switched to pre-dental. But I loved it. It was a great experience, and you know, the lessons you learn in history you can definitely apply towards life nowadays too.
Oh, absolutely. So, dude, tell me, when you got out of school, tell me what happened. Did you go and work as an associate? Tell me a little bit about your journey when you got out of school.
I really don't know how many other kids in the dental program thought this way, but I was a broke student, you know, and I was already married in dental school. So. Yeah, so right off the bat, while I'm in dental school, I'd say right around year 1 or 1.5 of dental school, I started building up my patient base, because my goal was to come straight out of dental school, and I wanted to have a busy schedule right away.
Okay.
Because I had to pay the bills, and I had to pay rent and, you know, car payments just on my leases.
Absolutely.
And what I did was, I loved working with patients. So I'd go out into the local areas, the cities around USC, and the rule was they would give you patients if you did not recruit. If you just said, you know what, you know, you can feed me my patients, I'll meet my minimal requirements and graduate. But, you know, my goal was to build the practice right away. So I was already out, you know, at the local restaurants and markets, and even, you know, at the synagogue, and giving out my cards saying, hey, come to the dental clinic, we'll hook you up with some really good dental work at a lower price, and it'll be done by me. And the goal was to build them up in dental school, and then some of them I'd make them offers, you know, why don't we finish the rest of this treatment plan? You know, we did 2 crowns in dental school, but you need 5 more. Let's do those in private practice. And I would try and take these people with me. And even some athletes followed me from the USC clinic all the way to private practice. So I hit the ground running, and, you know, modern dental offices, it's like a rent share. So, you know, I'm not really an associate. I'm more of an independent contractor, but you borrow space in a dental office and fill up the schedule.
Now, are you still doing that same situation like that? Is that at Katz Dental you're with, or tell me a little bit about that? Katz Dental.
Yeah, so Katz Dental it's an older office in LA, and I have access. I'm a left-handed dentist, and I'm the only one in the building that's left-handed.
That's awesome.
So I actually bought all the equipment in the 3 rooms in the back, and I converted them. They were actually storage rooms, and I converted them to dental operatories. And, you know, even before my first paycheck was cashed, I needed the newest technology. So I bought the digital x-rays and sensors. It's an old building.
Okay.
They were still using film. And I also bought CAD CAM, and I brought Invisalign and whitening to the office that they weren't doing before. Veneers we brought to the office. They were just a kind of a crown and bridge place.
Okay.
And they had one guy doing extractions and implants. But for the most part, I saw an opportunity where I can rent space out there, and it's a really easy dentist to get along with. And then I have the same thing in Encino. And Encino is probably the office that you see filmed more.
Yes.
It has we have a really nice view. We're on the 10th floor and really good Hollywood lighting. So when they film a TV show or a YouTube video, it's almost always done in the Encino office because of that.
I thought you had you were in Beverly Hills, or is that the Encino? Is that the one?
Yeah, the city office is in LA. It's right next door to Fox Studios on Pico.
Yep. Okay.
And we actually get a lot of the Fox crowd coming in, for anywhere from the actors to the directors to the sound guys to the producers, the editors, the writers from Fox, but also just the local community at large. And then I'm in Encino, so it's 3 days and 3 days. So I work light hours. Yeah, it's a lot of work. Light hours on a Sunday.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll usually go like 8 to 1 on a Sunday, and then I have full day Monday, Tuesday on Pico, and then in Encino, I'm full day Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
God, dude, you're a worker bee, man. I love that. But you're young, you need to do that, and you're crushing it. I know we've done a lot of different stars and players. We can't really talk about a lot, but I mean, you're right in the heart of it all, man. And we're Orange County. We're about an hour from you guys, but my hat's off to you, man. And I love it. I look forward to doing, because I do a lot of the bigs too, and some sports and all that. And I can't really say some of them I do, but I kind of get excited with it. I always like get pictures from them, say, Sean, thanks for the teeth and stuff. But with the dentists we work, we work partners with you guys and with a bunch of different dentists that through the years. But I get excited about it and I love it. And heck, I just seen a thing on the interweb here where this down and out dude in Kansas City, man, this dude was like toothless and all it's kind of jacked up, and he was just kind of down on his luck, living out of his truck. But he was on the side of the road and it was a snowstorm, and it was a KC game coming up, and one of the players, offensive lineman, number 73, I forgot his name, but he couldn't get through. He needed some help, and this he wasn't homeless, but this down and luck dude helped him, get his car out and, out of the snow and on the road to the game so he could play in the game last week. And so I guess the guy got reached out to by that player, and now they got like 10 grand and to help out. And he had some broken windows in his car. They have plastic and they're getting that. And then it's just neat when you can help, people in need. And then, even people that, just don't have the means. And it means so much to me because I've been making teeth for a long time, but I just love it when you can help out some of the people. And I've done it a lot through the years, but it's just kind of neat, man, and to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we definitely do some community outreach programs. We have a particular program that we work with where we actually do free dental work for Holocaust survivors.
Oh, okay.
So, aside from all the glitz and the glamour, we're trying to help people that otherwise would not have access to dental care. So there's a program that we work with where, as long as they qualify for the program and they send these qualified patients who need dental work done, we're glad to do it. We're glad to just do some of our community service for them too.
Yeah, I get really really excited when it comes to that, because these people, man, it just changes their lives. It changes anyone's life when you redo their mouth, and especially in the anterior cosmetic area, but just for function too, in the posterior quadrants and stuff. People, they haven't eaten on the lower left quad in 8 years because they got some blown out teeth or some lightning rods as they bite down. And it's just to get people back into function is one thing, but also to bring back their self-esteem and just their, just a smile just goes so far for, just confidence and everything else. And it's a great thing to give back when you can, and good for you, man. And please let us know. And when we can help on those situations, when that stuff comes up, we'd love to help out. You know that.
Yeah, no, I definitely know that. Thank you so much.
But hey, Dr. Rosenthal, tell me a little bit about now, what has been your marketing strategy? What do you do? Do you do social media? Are you working with the public sector? Tell me a little bit how you drive patients to your practice.
Oh, great question. Great question. Yeah, basically what happens is word of mouth, I still think at the end of the day, is probably the strongest form of marketing.
Yes, sir.
But in the last few years, social media has really taken over where, I was just having this discussion where some businesses really know how to use social media to their advantage. And in our office, we really, our Facebook and our Instagram page, especially the Instagram page, we're getting hundreds of thousands of views per month, and people really seem to like it.
That's so cool.
You mentioned earlier, we have these YouTube stars where you and I might not know who they are, but when they come in, there are hundreds of millions of, the younger generation, and this to them is like the Beatles. I mean, they're more excited to meet. They're more excited to meet a YouTube star. We have the Team 10 guys. They're more excited to meet them than they would be to meet Tom Cruise.
Exactly.
It's the market has changed. With that being said, you can still do word of mouth. You can do flyers that come in the mail. But for us, we've been featured in magazines. We've been in television. We're in a lot of these YouTube videos and Instagram stories and Snapchat. And what happens is it's like a calling card.
Yes,
someone famous comes in with, 10, 15 million followers around the world. And people see that this is their dentist. This is, these people can go anywhere, and they're choosing, Rosenthal Dental. They're choosing to see Dr. Gabe. And all of a sudden they're kind of Googling, or they're clicking on the map where our office is, and they go, oh my God, that office that I just saw on TV or on YouTube or whatever, it's 2 blocks away, and they they take our insurance. Let's go to Dr. Gabe. And then when a new patient comes in, look, at the end of the day, you still have to have a good practice. You can have the best marketing, but if you're doing these, really hideous horse teeth looking smiles, or the crowns just the crowns are breaking in 4 seconds. I don't care how good your PR is. You still have to be a good dentist that people trust. So,
absolutely.
That showbiz world is such a small world, and everyone seems to know each other, where you get one happy customer and they'll post a photo or a story on their page, and they'll tag us, and all of a sudden we're exposing a whole new audience.
Oh, it's so true.
And
even like you said with, I'm 56, dude. I've been doing this for 35 years now. And it's like, I didn't really know, like, all my staff and my techs, they're all younger than me. And my boys are probably older than you. But like you said, like me, I love Tom Cruise. I would drop to my knees and cry, saying like a little teenage girl, like, Tom. But
you would start shaking. You'd be so nervous working on someone like that. But you know what?
But it's like
we've had Academy Award winners and Grammy winners, and they come in, and I'll post a picture on Instagram, and I'll get maybe a few hundred clicks. But then you get these YouTubers and athletes that are, and current musicians. They come in, and all of a sudden we're getting posts and reposts and comments and likes and all of that stuff, because this is the audience that we're catering to.
Exactly.
You get a reality TV star, and they'll get me more clicks than a Grammy Award winner sometimes. Someone who might have won an award in 1994. I mean, I still think they're incredible. I mean, I treat all the patients the same.
Yep.
I don't care who you are, but click-wise and results-wise, they're not getting the same amount of clicks. The market's really changed.
It is. It's a trip, and it's hard. Social media, getting it to work, but it does when you get stars that have such a big following. You get 100,000 people that view it. You might get 5 or 10 patients. That one patient might be, a $10,000, $20,000. You just don't know. But you got to get your name out. I mean, I have doctors here in Irvine, California, of all places. I got about 250,000 people, and I've been here for all my career. And there's dentists that don't even know that I exist. And I did mailers to all of them, but a lot of doctors don't look at mailers. A lot of doctors don't look at the dental journals anymore, and a lot of the letters can't get past the front desk, and it's like a freaking harder than heck to get your name and out there. But look at you guys are known everywhere. I have my whole staff. I got a bunch of employees here. When cases coming from your thing, and their YouTube guys are all, look at this, we know it, and it's just like they get all excited, like, dude, who are these people? But that's these youth nation, man. They
Now look, with Keating, we had one case we worked on together. There was a YouTube boxing match, and some of the work that we did together, on the mouth guards was seen by probably 30, 40 million people easily.
I love it, man. I love the different doctors and different areas. I got certain guys with certain teams and sports and certain areas. I got you out in LA. It's kind of neat. You guys are all on that social media stuff, man. We got to get our dentists out there, because they're always looking for how to grow their practice. You always, and 99% of the best marketing out there is word of mouth. But then again, a lot of people aren't really doing the social media to the full extent of what it can be done. But it's hard. It's hard to find your niche and hard to get it out there unless you got all these superstars, and stuff. But
we do. We're really lucky that we get these stars and influencers and everything. But it's not the only way to go. For us, it works. For someone else, it might not work. If you're a Crown and Bridge place, and your audience is looking for a CAD CAM scan or something like that, a same day crown, and you don't have that technology, then it might not be that, you can always do word of mouth or Google ads. But for us, with the audience that we're catering to, the people who want the latest and the greatest technology and quality, I mean, it really works well for us. I mean, people stop me on the street. They say, "Oh, are you Dr. Gabe?" And 2-3 years ago, I would have thought that was crazy. But
and look at it now.
People recognize my work. They recognize our brand, so to speak. And when you're doing a case like this, and if you have a high-profile patient and they're happy and they're smiling, that's your business card right there.
Absolutely,
people
dude.
see that smile on TV or they see it online. They go, "Oh, that's Dr. Gabe's work. It looks pretty good, doesn't it?"
Yeah, that's so cool.
And that's when it really pays off.
That's it. Yeah. We're going to have to get you on the TMZ link where they're bringing the bus by your place, and then we'll have to get you in Harvey. Say, we got Dr. Gabe on the line with Sean Keating, the #1 dental lab and the #1 dental. Now, that's funny.
Hey,
dude.
one smile at a time. We'll get there in due time, that's for sure.
That's it, baby. That's what I'm saying. Everything's going to happen for when it happens, and just, it's not on your time, it's on his time, but it will happen. But no, that's so cool,
right.
dude.
That's right.
So what do you do for like dental conventions or gatherings? Do you do much for your CE, and where do you go? What shows do you do or don't do?
So CEs, I usually do the nighttime courses. I mean, right now we've been so busy with these big time cases. People are coming in for full mouth makeovers, and these in addition to just the regular practice. I've been slammed. I mean, I do a lot of online courses just to get my non-live courses. You ask your dentist friends what that means. Yeah, okay. And then for the courses, if there's some interesting new technology I want to learn, they usually give you some credits for that. So anytime some cool new technology that I can't live without, anytime it's available, I'll take the course. I'll get the units. So I do the online courses when I can, just because I don't know if I have as much time as I used to. I mean, to go to the CDA or the ADA, when I was first starting, I had all this free time. I take tons of courses.
Yeah.
Now it's a lot of continuing education at home. I mean, I always need to know what's going on in the dental world, whether there's a breakthrough in science or something new with technology. We just bought another 3D scanner. It's our third 3D scanner for the office, making impression material almost completely obsolete.
That's so cool.
And I had to have it once I read up on it, and you take the course, you get the credits. If there's anything that ever, piques my interest, I'm going to take the CE course, the continuing education course. But quite frankly, I've been slacking on the conventions lately. For me to take off 3-4 days from the practice, I just don't know. I don't know if I can do it. I have a pretty demanding patient base, and they need me 24/7.
Hey.
I'm answering emails, Facebook messages, phone calls, you name it. I'm pretty easy to reach. And people just need me at all times, so it's been really tough to take off time. But if things ever settle down, or if there's ever a course that I can't live without that I have to take, I'll take off time and I'll get my credits that way.
Absolutely, do what you're doing. You're working 6 days a week, dude. I mean, you're pushing it right now. You need to. You're young, man. Push it hard till you're 40, 45.
I'm young.
Yeah, you'll
I'm
be
young.
set.
I have the energy. I'm doing all this now, and my patients will always be my patients. I'll never be too big for any of my patients, but there's just such a demand right now, and I'm really, really blessed. And I can't let my patients down by taking off, 4 or 5 days at a time here and there. It's just not going to happen.
Good for you. Yeah, you'll have plenty of time in the future, man. But yeah, keep doing that. So tell me on your scanners, which scanners you got rolling at the practice? Which ones you like? Which ones you like better than the others?
All right. Yeah. So the first scanner we bought was it's a dinosaur now. You're going to laugh when I say it, but the CEREC Red Cam.
Okay, now we all got those in the closet. No.
Yeah, I still use the mill, the 3D printer that's attached to it. But the CEREC Red Cam was the first one I bought. I had no money out of grad school. I had to finance it, and that thing is such a dinosaur now. But I had that with the compact mill, which is still a good mill. It still makes really good crowns, but the camera itself is a little bit outdated. And I also have the CEREC OmniCam, which is the most advanced crown camera that CEREC makes. It's a 3D scan in full color, and it makes some beautiful, beautiful crowns, veneers, bridges, for the people who want the scans on the spot. Otherwise, we can email the file and send it to a lab and have them make it for us.
Absolutely.
And we just bought the iTero, scan, which is it's actually in the mail. I was told it's shipping today. So
you're gonna love
next time
that.
I speak with you,
You better start sending me some of those scans, baby. You better send me those. We're gonna do some.
The iTero's the full mouth scan. So even the night guards now, I won't need impression material anymore.
Yeah, you're gonna love it, man. It'll be a night and day. It's a neat thing. I'm a big. I love these scans we're getting from our dentists. It's just making our job so easy, and it's so freaking accurate. It's just there's no warping and no shrinkage of the materials anymore, and it's just so spot on. And we're just loving it.
When you scan the tooth directly, there's just nothing that gets lost. No detail gets distorted when you have the scan right in front of you. So you can see the model in 3D.
Yep.
It's incredibly accurate, and we have the MCXL mill, which is that fast milling device. So if someone can't wait the 2-3 weeks, or if they want a same day crown without having to leave with a temporary, we have the MCXL mill as well.
Oh, dude, you got it all covered, baby, all angles. I think we got room for one more question, because I know you got to get back to work. You only have a half an hour, but what are some of the do's and don'ts you could tell some of the newer dentists starting off? Just some advice for some of our newer students that are just getting in started.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I love that question. That's a great question. The do's and the don'ts. The do's, it's okay to learn from your mistakes.
Absolutely.
You do learn from your mistakes, and definitely, make sure you perfect the craft. And it's a funny don't, but you're not going to grow overnight. It just doesn't happen where you come out of dental school and you have 15,000 veneers done in 1 year. I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. And if there's ever work that you do that looks good, you can show it. But quite frankly, if your skills aren't there yet, and it takes time to learn how to be a good dentist, you don't need to show the whole world your first ever veneer case.
Exactly.
I mean, in a weird way, it's going to hurt your practice in the long run, because once something's out there on social media, it's there forever.
Yep.
So if you're doing these really just horsey looking, bulky veneers because you don't know any better, or you think they look great but your eye hasn't been trained, you don't need to show the whole world. I didn't post my cases until at least 3-4 years out of dental school, because even if I thought it was a great case, once it's out there, people are going to judge it. These digital websites take my work, Core Whitening, Dental Mentor, and all these other sites take my work and they repost it. And I've seen some new dentists post their work and they get trashed left and right. And
it's tough out there.
The work definitely show your quality cases, not the quantity. Just because you just did whitening and they got half a shade brighter, you don't need to show the world that.
Exactly.
Or you did, one guy chipped a tooth and you just filed it down, and that's not a before and after. People don't. That's not going to help you grow your business.
Yes.
When you're ready and your work is pristine, you can go ahead and show it to the world. But you got to be a tough critic of your own work too. That's one way to get better.
Well, hey, Dr. Rosenthal, man, I can't thank you enough. I know, you're so busy, and I know you got to get back. They're calling on you in the back room. I can hear them. But again, thank you so much. We appreciate all the work. And if there's anything we can do, please let us know. God bless you and your family, and we'll talk to you real soon.
All right. Well, listen, Sean, thank you so much for having me. That was a lot of fun, and keep up the great work. I look forward to working with you in the future.
All right. Thanks again.
All the best.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Dental Up Podcast Show this week. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or search the Dental Up Podcast on iTunes for our weekly feed. Don't forget to visit KeatingDentalArts.com/promo for exclusive offers. Keating Dental Arts is a full-service dental laboratory, and we're nationwide. We'd love for you to send us a case so we can show you the Keating difference. If you dig what you heard, please leave a review on iTunes, and we'll be back next week.